Want to know the pros and cons of living in Botetourt County?
Stay tuned and we'll give those to you. Everybody, it's Hal Cohn.
And Chris Cohn, we're with Cohn Realty Group.
Oh, there you go.
I know, I had a little delay, but together we are with Cohn Realty Group.
Yeah, we will make it happen. So if this is your first time to our channel, second time, 100th time, 1000th time, there's some of you that binge watch our channel, so
wow,
that's amazing. Thank you. But if you're one of those who have not clicked that subscribe button or the notification icon, please make sure you do that right now so you don't miss out on any of the amazing videos that we put out about living, working, and playing in the Roanoke Valley. And I'm not going to say amazing this time because I just used amazing just before that.
All right, well, we have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and the surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, please get in touch with us. We would love to have a conversation with you, see if we can answer any questions you may have, and also help you out. So you can call us, text us, or email us, whatever works best for you.
All right, so common question we get, because if you see this particular county, Botetourt spelled out, you would not think that is how you pronounce it. So if you're a local, you know.
Yeah, we do get that question a lot. They'll say, wait, you said Botetourt, but is this the same place? Because it's like butter tart that I see. It is an unusual spelling, but the county is Botetourt that we're going to be focusing on today. It's one of the largest counties in Virginia, and it's located to the north of Roanoke City, about 20 or 30 minutes from downtown Roanoke, depending on where you are. It was founded in 1770. You know I love my history.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
That was many years ago.
That's right. Thank you. And it has numerous sites and homes that are listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
There are 30 total, I think, right?
Oh, wow.
All within one county.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Wow. So what do you think about when you think about Botetourt?
I think about land. I think about recreation.
Yes.
I think about being about 30 minutes from downtown Roanoke. Let's see, what did I miss?
I think you hit it all. We're going to talk about those things, but really dig into honest pros and cons today, because you're not here. You may not be here if you're viewing this from somewhere else. Botetourt is a fantastic option to choose from in the Roanoke Valley, but there's some pros and cons, like every single place, right? There's no perfect place.
Yep.
So we're going to dig into those next.
Let's jump to it. Okay, so you know us. You want to know the pros and the cons, and where do you think we're going to start? You guessed it. Yes, because we are Mr. and Mrs. Positivity over here, especially when it comes to all things Roanoke, Botetourt, Salem, etc.
Right. In my world, the pros always outweigh the cons, too.
So if you're one of those who are looking for the negatives or the cons, you got to stay to the very end and make sure you hear all about that. So let's get to it, though. Let's jump right into the first pro for the day. Is going to be one of the little sub-hubs. Sub-hubs? Is that a word? Out in Botetourt, called Delville Town Center.
Right, so this is really the city center of Botetourt County. It's relatively new. Love it. It's this planned community. You can live there, you can work there, you can play there. Lots of opportunity for just about anything. I mean, surrounding Delville Town Center, it really is becoming a lot more amenities are popping up that are available. So initially it was a coffee shop and a restaurant. Now it has expanded so much. And again, like I said, there's residential opportunities. There's a variety of options, single family homes,
there's
townhouses.
Office space, apartments.
Okay, so let's dive into what's there. At Delville Town Center, you're gonna find places like Tizone or Tizone, and they have great plates paired with fantastic wine selection. There's also the Tap House, which is more of like American burger and American food and fare. And
before coronavirus, they had a little like daily luncheon special salad bar that was really tasty. So I think that's still in existence. So
that's good.
A little lunch special if you're out there in Botetourt doing any work, you work in the neighborhood. So that's an option.
And then Little Green Hive is a coffee shop and tea shop I just adore. That's out there. They've
got multiple locations throughout the city as well. So there's one in Botetourt, and there's a couple in Roanoke, and there's over in Blacksburg as well.
Right, and just across the road is Donnie D's Bagels. We have to highlight this. bagel shop because it is so good. I just had another bagel from there yesterday, and everything bagel, and I just devoured it. It was so tasty. I love it. But there's a lot of other amenities like CVS, doctor's offices. Oh, I forgot the Mexican restaurant too, Rodeo Chico. And there's a bank, doctor's offices, and the new YMCA.
YMCA.
Wow.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
This facility is brand new and absolutely gorgeous. And the playground is handicap accessible as well. So it's for everybody with special needs as well.
Yep. And then they have entertainment on the weekends, right? Or Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, you name it.
Yes.
You've got opportunities there.
Yeah, there's
Summer concert series.
Flat Pickin'
Friday.
Party at the Pavilion.
Farmers market on the weekends.
Farmers market. That's what I was going to say. Let's not forget that. There's always something going on. So entertainment right there out your back door. But I really like the community feel that Daleville Town Center has provided to Botetourt and is growing in popularity.
Okay, so one of the main things, this is going to be pro number 2 for Botetourt County, is going to be outdoor activities. Most of the folks that we're talking to that are relocating here and those that live here now, they love the outdoors. So why not choose a place like Botetourt County that, according to niche.com, is number 6 out of 92 counties in the state of Virginia for outdoor amenities.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Number
Right in our backyard.
6
Yes.
out of 92.
Yeah, amazing.
That's fantastic. I believe it. I mean, there's so much to do in Botetourt County. It's lush, it's beautiful, and let's talk about how you can enjoy it. You can enjoy it through hiking, biking, and water sports too, even some recreational opportunities like parks and playgrounds. But hiking and biking, you've got a number of trails, not only in Botetourt, but in the surrounding counties that are adjacent to Botetourt. Oh, see? Cue the butterfly. So when I'm talking about outdoor activities for hiking and biking, I like to think of the Appalachian Trail, which is famous for McAfee's Knob. If you have not heard of McAfee's Knob, look it up. Just stunning overlook at the top. Also Dragon's Tooth, and then there's smaller trails that are more family friendly, like Roaring Run, and that's a favorite of ours.
That is. It's an easy one for the kiddos, no matter what age they are. So almost anybody can do that. Super easy walk, and you could go by the stream, go through the woods, and just check everything out up there. So it's a lot of fun. It's on the northern, not far north Botetourt County, but on the northern side of Botetourt County.
Right, and then there's even Reed Mountain Preserve, which is tucked away into a neighborhood. And we used to live in that area, loved popping up there and going in as far as we wanted. But a pretty strenuous climb if you go all the way to the top, and there's just a myriad of trails all throughout there. So mountain biking, we are a big mountain biking valley as well, right?
We are, absolutely, yeah. East Coast mountain biking city, capital of the world, not of the world, of the United States, I'm sorry. I keep trying to make that grow more and more every video probably. So if anybody watches these videos, they're gonna be like, oh man, that's amazing. So we'll see.
Next year, maybe we'll take over the world.
That's right, yes.
That would be great. So lots of biking opportunities too. This isn't on here on our initial thoughts, but campgrounds. There are campgrounds adjacent to Botetourt County and within the valley in Botetourt as well. So that's a great idea.
One of the things is Cave Mountain State Park or Cave Mountain Lake, so there's some camping around there, so that's in Botetourt County. And then just over the line, if you go past Eagle Rock up to Covington and Clifton Forge area, then you've got one of our favorites, Dalford State Park.
Oh, and that's perfect for mountain biking and hiking too. Oh, I love it. I love Dalford.
But if you don't want to traverse that far, you can stay in your backyard and go to the Greenfield Sports Park complex, and you've got like walking and running trails there. You've got tons of sporting fields there as well for soccer and softball, baseball, all those things.
Lots of athletic fields. Also a disc golf course.
Oh, you got it.
Those are gaining in popularity. I'm seeing so many of them pop up. We need to get into that.
Yeah, and we've got some like world class ones around here, is my understanding, because one of our friends is one of the big guys behind it here, and pretty awesome courses. So come check those out.
I think we need to do a video on disc golf.
Oh, we could do that. You can do it in the city or outside the city. Remember, there's one at Highland Park in the
true.
city, and there's a couple outside as well.
In Fishburne Park.
Yeah.
There's one there too. So let's jump to the water. So you're gonna have access to the water. The biggest one that you think about is James River, and that's where you can go kayaking, canoeing, tubing. You've heard this before. We go tubing every summer with the family, and it's a lot of fun on the James River. Twin Rivers Outfitters is a great outfitters that can hook you up with all your needs, and it's just a lot of fun. But there's a lot of little tributaries off of the James River. Most notably, one is in Arcadia.
Jennings Creek.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can kayak, you can fish, you can boat, you can canoe, like I said, just all kinds of water sport recreation right there in Botetourt County.
So if you're an outdoors enthusiast, that's going to be a place you're going to love to call home. Okay, so let's go to the third pro, the third positive for living in Botetourt County, and that's going to be more land.
I know.
So you can spread out and not be right on top of your neighbors, which is what we hear quite often from folks. It's kind of interesting because people will email us or they will text us and say, hey, I'm looking for 5 or 10 acres around Roanoke. And then they get here and they're like, a half an acre to an acre is okay.
That's
so
fine.
It depends upon where you are, what county you're in, and kind of how things are set up, right? So
yeah, and you know, some of our clients are coming from pretty urban areas where they're 50 feet away from their neighbor, and they can there's just no privacy at all, and they say we just want a little buffer, a little privacy. You can absolutely find that in Botetourt County, no problem. I mean, that's what I love, is that there are some subdivisions there and they're closer into Roanoke, so you can have a quicker commute if that's your goal. But there's also some areas that are what I call on the fringe that are more semi-rural, and then you can keep going as far as you want, and it gets pretty rural.
It can,
and so whether you're looking for 25 acres or a mini farm or just, you know, some room to breathe on 1 or 2 acres, you can certainly find that in Botetourt.
Yeah, and one thing you're going to ask, of course, is like, well, what about pricing, right? So with that, Botetourt County is a little bit more expensive than Roanoke County. You're going to pay $10,000 to $20,000 premium to be in Botetourt County, but you're going to have more land that your house sits on, and your price per square foot will be pretty similar, but you're going to pay a little bit more just because of the fact that you know, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for, and people are desiring to be in that area based on land and their neighbors and the amenities. So.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's of note, like the same house in other areas may it may be the same price per square foot, but like you mentioned again, you're just getting so much more square footage typically and more land. And I love that about it, that the whole valley, there's so much to choose from. You can check out which neighborhood suits your needs best, and just know that Botetourt has all these other options you can choose from.
Yeah, especially if you're say, hey, I'm done with the subdivision, right? Like I am done. Well, Botetourt will give you that option depending on how far you want to be from downtown or, you know, from other amenities. You know, you can get out there 30, 40 minutes away from Roanoke, and you're gonna have, you know, 4 acres, 5 acres, and a nice house, and you're gonna be like, man, I'm living the dream now. So if that's what you're looking for, Botetourt County may just be the spot for you. Okie dokie, so number 4 for your pros for Botetourt County is gonna be a good rating on crimegrades.org. It's in the 89th percentile. So people are always asking us about safety and crime, right? As far as like where they're gonna live. And we have to direct you to sites like crimegrades.org to find that out, because as realtors, we can't give you that exact information. So based on what we found, that's what we found analytically online, that you can also research. But just in general, with our people that we know that live in Botetourt,
and the
clients and friends and family, etc., you know, Botetourt is a neighborly kind of place. And what do we mean by that?
Well, I mean, it still has that small town feel, and really just neighbors looking after neighbors. So just doing the right thing, right? We have neighbors right now that just are so kind and so sweet, and if something looks a little askew at our house, they will definitely give us a call, and you can expect that for the most part in Botetourt as well.
Yeah, so even if you have a 5 acre tract and you're not right on top of your neighbors are still going to know who you are, and they're going to look out for you and make sure that you're safe and you're taken care of.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll do the same.
That's
Return
right.
the favor for sure. Niche.com is another website that our clients like to use, and it gave Botetourt County an overall score of an A-. So
Ooh, yeah.
that's a pretty great rating. So
Yeah.
make sure you do research. Again, find what fits with your family, but you can tell by the stats and probably from walking around and driving around, Botetourt seems to be a place that people really like for the low crime and safety.
There you go. All right, so the things that we don't like to talk about would be the cons.
The negatives.
Yeah, so we want to be equal opportunity data givers.
Well, I mean, let's just be real. Like I said, there's no perfect place.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Surprising. I think it's called Utopia or something.
Yeah, which we don't live in as much as we want to believe that.
Right.
However, let's jump right into it. I'm sorry, I digress.
Yes.
So let's get into the cons. So the first con is going to be, hey, you may have to go drive a long distance to certain amenities.
Right, yeah. So let's talk about some of the main places in Botetourt, those subdivisions we think of. The main ones that we think about are Daleville, Blue Ridge, Cloverdale, Troutville, Fincastle.
Those are the ones that are closer in. So if you're at the furthest away you'd be from Roanoke, and most of those would be 30 to 40 minutes to downtown Roanoke proper.
Right.
However, if you start going more north of Fincastle,
It gets rural.
you get to Eagle Rock and some of those other areas, and you're gonna be a long ways away.
And that might be okay.
And it might be okay, yeah.
Yeah, check your lifestyle, see what your needs are. If you need to commute into the grocery store or ballet practice or, I don't know, running the kids all over the place to school and activities, then this may not be the best option for you. But again, Botetourt is huge. So it's pretty close to Roanoke amenities here in the southern half.
Yes.
And then as you go more north, it gets more and more rural.
Yeah,
So,
and if you're around the exit 150 off of 81, that's about the midpoint, and you're about 20 minutes to downtown Roanoke from there. So you can get to the amenities you need within Botetourt County, to be honest with you. But if you need to be in Roanoke City proper, then being far out in Botetourt might be a problem. You know, for me, when I lived in Atlanta, I lived, like 15 miles from my office, but because of traffic, guess what? It took me 45 minutes to an hour or longer to get to the office every single day.
that's wild.
I was
Yeah,
like,
so
no big deal, because that's what everybody did.
Right.
So it was just a customary thing that you did every single day, morning and night. So you might be used to that, and you'd be like, hey, no problem. I come to Roanoke and do the same thing.
Yeah.
For me, I like my 20-minute max commute to wherever I want to go in the valley. So I get mad if I have to go 30 minutes instead.
unless you're showing houses.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And helping
Hour
clients.
and a half.
Sure,
That's
we'll
right.
be there.
Sure.
We do love those drives. But yeah, that's a good point. It's all relative. You just, you find out what works for your family. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but I love the flexibility that Botetourt offers in the way of access and proximity to amenities.
Con number 2, I'm going to jump right in, is going to be lack of late night entertainment options or things to do after 9 or 10 at night. So if you're used to a big metropolis like Atlanta or New York, or places in California like Los Angeles that are going non-stop 24
Right.
hours a day, 7 days a week, then Botetourt might not be the place for you.
Right, so whether you're working late and want to get a quick bite somewhere or sit down for a nice meal at a restaurant in those unusual or off times, it may not be open unless you're going to maybe a Sheetz or a Dodge's.
And if you don't know what that is, we'll show you what they both are whenever you come.
That's
you can
right.
get access to anything there after 10 o'clock. There, anytime.
Right. I mean, there are some great options, but for the most part, these places are going to be closing down around 9 or 10 o'clock. Some of the places I jotted down are 1772 Rooftop on Main.
That's in Fincastle.
Yeah. And then Town Center Tap House. And then Top Dog and Pancho, or Pancho, I should call it Pancho. Pancho you wear, Pancho you eat.
There you go.
Sorry about that. But anyway, so those places are great, and they attract a lot of folks for, meeting up with friends after work.
After work or for ball games,
Right.
if you're watching soccer or you're watching football, football's almost here in the fall. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, so
Bulldogs.
those places are great. But you know, again, you're not going to be very far from Roanoke and all the amenities there, so you can check that out. Go into some of the Roanoke areas for those late night options if that's your thing. Is that our thing?
No.
It used to be our thing.
That's right. Back in the day in Atlanta, yeah, you'd find us 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but not so much now. It's like head on the pillow by 10 and getting up with the kids by 6 the next morning.
I know, and we've become our parents when we said nothing good happens after 10 a.m.
Yes.
That's our personal
10 a.m.
I mean, 10 p.m.
p.m.
Nothing good happens after 10. That's our personal opinion, not professional.
That's right, absolutely. Yeah, we just took our realtor cap off and put on our, hey, we're your friend. This is what we think. Con number 3 is going to be not as much to do.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, there's really not as many opportunities for dining and shopping, but you know, we always have this conversation. That's okay for some people, and if it's not okay for you, we have other places in the valley where you can find that. And I hate to keep harping on this, but you're a very short drive into those places from Botetourt. So for dining, I mean, downtown Roanoke, a plethora of options. The Cave Spring area, all of Roanoke County really, and then Salem has some great dining as well. And Botetourt has some. I think
I was gonna say, I mean, you're thinking about Botetourt, it's funny because you've got Mexican, you've got Americana, you've got Italian, you got Donny D's, you got Sal's, you got Bellacinos. I mean, you've got a lot of options, but you might have one of each. So like, let's say Roanoke City, you know, Cave Spring, you may have 5 pizza joints, you may have 10 Italian restaurants, those types of things. So, you know, you've got less diversity as far as your choices, but you can still get what you need in Botetourt, so don't be ripping them too bad now.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I like Botetourt.
We're just telling the truth.
That's right. And then also shopping. So for those of you that love to shop till you drop, you can, there are some shopping options there, but what you can do is also travel into Roanoke, places like Cave Spring again.
So Valley View Mall, which is our largest retailer, as far as like options for actually going in-person shopping if you're not buying on Amazon, which, you know, we want you to buy local as much as possible, so that's what we like to do.
And that's perfect segue, you know, downtown Roanoke, Grandin, Salem, all of Roanoke County, there's all these great local shops we encourage you to visit. There's boutiques, there's specialty stores and shops, and they're just so fun. They're all popping into my head like popcorn, but tons of shopping opportunities all around the valley.
Now see, there weren't that many cons.
I know, I feel like we flew through the cons and then the pros were like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's a good thing. Go Botetourt.
Yay! Man, I think it's time for lunch.
Again? All right, well, we're headed out for lunch, but if you are interested in Botetourt, there are plenty more videos that we've done on that, and if you have specific questions, give us a call, text us, or email us for no pressure conversation. We just want to find out how we can help.